everybody, welcome back. These are some people that quit their job in 10 seconds or less.
Pushes cart into registers.
A dog fight had broken out.
Leave her alone. Here's why you shouldn't work at Aritzia. Let's get ready together while I tell you why I quit. This story has been extremely long overdue. I feel like I've been telling everybody that I'm... Anyways, I've been telling everybody, all of my friends, that I'm going to post a video, and then I never do. I don't know why. But it's time for the slander. I'm not usually a hater, but this place actually destroyed me. So
Same.
We're going to talk today. Okay, so let's start from the very beginning. I started working at Aritzia around this time last year. I went through the whole hiring process. I think it was all of May, and then June we were supposed to open, and then it just kept dragging. So let's start from there. First of all, the hiring process, who is that extra? There's I think it's 2 different interviews that you have to go through, and then you get a call. If you get a call, you got the job. If you don't get a call, you didn't get the job. But no, they make it a huge deal because they know all the want to work at Aritzia.
They do.
I did get picked.
I will say all the bitches want to work at Aritzia because of the discount. It's the discount. I'm telling you. Because realistically back then, especially when you're just out of school or maybe you're in high school or something like that, the only way a lot of people can afford Aritzia is with the discount. It's a nice discount. Let me just say it's nice.
I'm lucky with the girls that interviewed me. They were so nice. It was one girl that was 23, 24, and then there was an older lady. Whatever, my interview went great. Obviously, I got the job. Then they tell us that the store is going to open at the end of May. Doesn't happen. I'm like, all right, sometimes there's delays and I understand. 2 months later, we open in July or something. I'm like, all right, well, the whole summer I didn't work because I quit my past job because I really wanted to work at Aritzia. So I was like, I'm going to give this place all my time. I want to be available whenever they need me because I was one of those girls that was
such a
I
keener.
need to work at Aritzia.
Keener.
So there's that. The opening was delayed, which was so inconvenient for so many of the girls because obviously not all of us live 5 minutes away and can be So they started on a bad note already. Continuing on. Once you're a new employee, they're going to give you a time to shop the store for a really decent discount. So we had a day to shop 70% off. And I live with my parents over the summer. So I was an hour and a half away from the store. And they would tell us last minute, literally maybe an hour before, that they're switching the day of when we get to go in and shop. So the summer comes to an end, and obviously I'm in college, so my availability has to change, and I let my manager know. And if you guys don't know, the way that things work at Aritzia is basically the more you sell, the more you get scheduled.
Yeah.
Let me know how you feel about that.
Oh, it's f***ing bullshit is what it is. It's absolute BS, okay? Because, I don't know, maybe... it's, okay, if you're a good seller, you're not gonna have issues getting hours. But unfortunately, not everybody has, a good week. And not only that, the girls at Aritzia are so competitive. They're going around stealing everybody's sales, claiming sales that aren't theirs, kind of just hanging out by the till, trying to get their sales up. It's a bloodbath. I'm telling you, it's a bloodbath. And then if you don't sell enough to warrant, full time, they schedule you in so that you're there only for the rush for 3 hours, okay? 2 to 3 hours, and then they cut you. And they say, oh yeah, just we're not gonna pay you, but just come back in 3 hours for the dinner rush. I'm sorry, no, I'm going home. Home.
Over the summer, I was getting all of these insane hours because our store just opened. It just opened, so obviously everybody's getting the sales that they need. Everybody's getting the hours that they need. It was actually crazy how much money I was making. So obviously we start on a really good high note. Then the school year starts, my availability changes, and it's not that I was I can only work 1 day a week. I gave them open weekends 3 times a week, and I'm a design student, so I don't have that much time on my hands, but I still gave it to them because I was I want to work here. I was so pumped and I was so excited. Then my classes start, and obviously people the vibe of the store opening kind of starts going away, eventually your girl here starts losing hours, and I'm all right, what? I'm literally getting scheduled once a month, and not even for a 9 to 6 or a long shift where I could make a decent amount of money. No, I was getting scheduled from 4 to 9 p.m. And then these know how to get you so bad that on the days that I would have something and I would literally be putting in, I can't come in, they would schedule me for a 10-hour shift.
Yeah,
they
totally.
just slowly know when to start getting rid of people.
Yeah, I'm here for the Aritzia slander, by the way. I'm totally here for it. And yeah, I mean, I definitely know how she feels. Like, at the time, Aritzia was pretty much the only cool place that you could get your clothes where I was from. So, like, naturally, it was like, you know, all the cool hot girls worked there. So you wanted to work there just to say that you were one of the cool hot girls that worked there. But my goodness, those sales goals, I was crying in the back room every damn day. No mirrors in the dressing rooms told me everything I needed to know about them. No, because the mirrors are not there in the dressing room because they want you to come out so they can manipulate you into buying something. Oh my God. You'll come out of the dressing room, you'll be really uncomfortable, and your sales associate is just gonna be like standing there like, oh my God, you look so good. And you're like, really? I look kind of shitty. Oh my God, no, let me get you a top to go with that. You have to like style it correctly. The vocal fry is, they're not making commission. Like I can tell you now, like unless something has changed, they're not making commission. They are complimenting you to make a sale so they have the right to work. It's also why they literally will not leave you alone the minute that you walk in the door. God, I hate stores that make you do that. I hate stores that make their sales associates mosquitoes, you know? If you think that someone's stealing something, then yes, follow them around. But like otherwise, I'm in there with my headphones. I don't want to be bothered. This is my me time, okay? I'm here for the Aritzia slander.
They slowly start realizing, I don't know if this is all my brain, but like it was just so obvious that they knew that some girls were going to be like, this isn't going to work for me. And they slowly start like nitpicking at the little things that are going to make them
quit.
Like just quit. Unfortunately, I was one of them, but you know what? Whatever. So yeah, I was getting scheduled one time a month for the shortest shift ever. I'm sorry. I would get scheduled on a Tuesday from 4 to 9. And they expected me to do at least $300 per hour.
Yeah.
And if you're from the Tampa area and you've been to the International Plaza, that is dead during the week. So anyways, I would get no sales and I wouldn't get scheduled. And then the worst part was would pull robberies. So if you guys don't know how it works, you basically have your little cards at Aritzia and they have your name on them and your little your styling one number, whatever. I forget what it's called. And then whenever you see someone walk in, you have to basically harass them and be like, hey, can I take your stuff for you? Hey, can I take your stuff?
Oh my God, no, my favorite is,
Oh my God, I love your outfit. Oh my God, like I love it. Where did you get it?
and then you immediately establish trust. Realistically, these are sales tactics that a lot of people use. I know I sound very disingenuous, but like, I love a compliment, okay? If you want to get somebody to like you, you compliment them most of the time, in which case, I don't know, there's some times where people are like, But most of the time, people love a compliment. So you establish the trust with the compliment, your buddy, and then they like you and they keep coming back and they're like,
No, I only want Charlotte.
and that looks good. I'm just spilling all the tea right now.
So if they do that to you at Aritzia, now you know why. It's because they want to get the sale. Because if you don't get the sale, you don't make money, you don't get scheduled, and that's when the drama would come in, because somebody would walk in, you would take their stuff, they would be your client, and then other girls would come up to them, and they would see that there's stuff in their hands, and they would take it and be like, this is my client. And you'd be like, no, I took their stuff before, don't. And I don't think I said this, but I was a styling advisor, so that's like, you are the meat. Like, you are the meat. There's styling advisors, and then what is it? Senior style advisor or something, which is like the people that make commission. And some of these, I kid you not, they were out for blood. Like, they did not care that you were a fresh little person doing what you know best to do.
No.
Like, they wouldn't give a They'd be
It's
like,
the jungle.
I'm so frustrated I can't even talk. They would be literally like sharks and you were a minnow.
Yeah.
Like, they would actually be like, I don't give a like, I'm taking the sale.
I'm actually surprised to hear that they make commission, because like back when I was working there, nobody made commission. Maybe they started to realize that their system didn't exactly make people want to work. Like, if you would take away privileges because you wouldn't reach a sales goal with like the few hours you did have, then ultimately you're just gonna have to keep hiring new people because no one wants to work like one shift a month. But there was a girl that used to work at like one of the most popular Aritzia locations where I was from. She made as much money as a doctor. Like, even though she wasn't making commission, they paid her very, very, very well. And she was also the meanest one. I know for a fact they pay their employees well because sometimes when I go back to my hometown and I go to the Aritzia that I used to work at, some of the girls that work there, I knew when I used to work there. And like, ain't no way in hell you're gonna keep a job that doesn't pay you well. They probably pay them a lot of money. Nobody wants to go to a job that they're berated constantly at. After 10 or 15 years, like, yeah, you're gonna be making decent money.
There was really nice SSAs though, like hearts to someone. Yeah, would pull robbery, steal your sale, then you'd be pissed off because you're helping someone for so long just for someone else to take your sale, and then you don't get scheduled, and then you hate your life. Next, managers. I will have to say there was a couple managers that I loved, no hate to all of them, but some others, oh my.
It was like a cult. It was literally, they lived and breathed Aritzia. And like she said, there's like a lot of really cool girls that I met at Aritzia. Back when I worked there, one of them is actually going to be my sister-in-law. Once I marry Mike, she's going to be my sister-in-law. So we became friends while working there, crying in the back room together, bonding over how much we hated it.
Oh, man.
You basically did well at Aritzia and became a manager because you were drinking the Kool-Aid. You just snorted Aritzia in the back room.
God, like, I literally get like anxious and like fluttery and like hot and just like thinking about it because I'm like, you were such a bitch. If you needed help, eye roll. If you didn't sell, eye roll. They would say they were trying to help you. What they would literally say, well, you know, just keep trying. People will come in. People will come in. Right. Like, help me by telling Christy over there that that's my sale and that she shouldn't have sold it for me. Oh, well, you know, it seems like she's been working with her for a while, so let's just try and find you someone else.
No, they want that because they want the people that are more aggressive because it's going to result in more sales for the company. They don't want someone new that's like, you know, timid and stuff like that. They want the people that are going to close the sale. I'm telling you, man, it is like, just shop online. Like, I like Aritzia. I still buy Aritzia to this day. I love Aritzia. There's sweatsuits, there's super puffs. Can't beat them. Can't beat them. Love that. But I buy it online.
I couldn't even tell you how many times girls would steal my sales, and because like I honestly stopped caring because I was like, my life is not Aritzia. Like, I am gonna find another job. Like, this isn't my full-time job. Like, this is my college money. Like, I'm gonna use these $20 an hour for mom on Saturday. But first to pay off my car. Anyway, let me give you a short little story. There was one instance where it was a battle of the sale. The client is so nice. Like, I love her. Clearly, her and I click. But she has around maybe like $2,000 worth of stuff like in her hand. I go up to her, we connect like crazy. She is so nice. Like, I'm putting her in the fitting room, she's trying on all this stuff. I'm not annoying the shit out of her. She needs something, I'll go get it for her. Like, I'm checking on her every like 10 minutes because I'm sorry, if you're checking on someone that like, leave her alone.
That's why, guys, when you go into Aritzia, don't blame, or like anywhere, you know, I think Lululemon is another one. When they have the sales associates that are like mosquitoes and they don't leave you alone, they likely have something going on behind the scenes where if they're not like that, people will steal their sales. They won't get enough hours because they're not selling enough. They won't be able to make ends meet. So like, just keep that in mind, all right? Be nice to your sales associates. They're not the ones making the rules.
All of a sudden, this one girl that worked there that was younger than me, I'm 21 about to be 22. This girl was 18. Let's just think about that. She stole the f***ing sale. She stole the sale right from under me. None of the managers did anything. And when I told them about it, they went up to her and they talked to her. She knew what she did was wrong. She started crying. She started crying to my managers. So of course they feel bad for her and they're like, oh, just like give her the sale, we'll find you another one. That was my breaking point. Literally, I think 2 weeks after that, I quit. The favoritism was insane. And do not try getting a day off because 1, you probably won't get it, and 2, if you do get it, you will never be scheduled again. And just to be ridiculously transparent, I talked to my manager about this, couldn't even tell you how many times. I would say, listen, I have bills to pay, like, if you guys aren't gonna help me, like, I'm gone. Like, I'll try and find something else, like, whatever. She would promise me that she would try, she would do X, Y, and Z, whatever. Did I ever get more hours? No. I got to a point where my father had to get involved because if you guys don't know, there's
not
a thing
daddy.
called Gasparilla here in Tampa, and I tried to ask off for that day, like, I think, like, a week before, and they wouldn't let me. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna quit anyway. I don't care.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Wow. Waiting for the Aritzia documentary. Just like Brandy Melville, eh? I mean, it's not like it stopped Brandy Melville from doing well. That place still has a line out the door. I don't understand why. As a customer at Aritzia, this is so interesting, and now I feel bad because I would ask anyone to help me. I did not realize there were claims, especially at retail minimum wage job. Is there bonuses? No! No, there are not! You literally just get the right to work. Oh God, all right. I think that's enough Aritzia slander for one video. We're already like halfway through. Moving on!
Hi, I'm Ken, and these are things that I've been written up for at some of my jobs. When I worked retail, I was 23 and I got in trouble for asking a client why they were being mean to me. I literally just said, "Why are you being mean to me?" And I got in trouble. I worked at a dispensary and someone wanted to argue with me on who they needed to speak to in regards to concentrates, and I said, "I am the one that you would want to speak to in regards to concentrates." And he said, "Well, can I get someone that actually knows what he's doing?" And I said, "Can I offer you the door?" And I got in trouble for that. I was attacked at a dog daycare that I worked at, broke my hand, all this stuff. And upon return, a few months later, a dog fight had broken out. And I said, "I'm not doing that again." And I was written up for that. I got written up at work for having a group Snapchat. No one else in the group got written up. All of them were employees. None of them got written up. Just me. I've been written up at another job because I took a 5-minute break to get my life together after I was hit by a car at lunch. I was in a car accident at lunch. I returned back to work and I got in trouble for taking 5 minutes to just take a break. I had a concussion. In college, I worked at a different dispensary and I told my boss that the following day I needed to leave at exactly 3 o'clock. I was scheduled until 2:45. Because I have a test, I have a final, and I need to be there for that final. I cannot be late. I will be leaving at 3 o'clock at the latest. And he said, okay. Well, the next day goes by, and it's 3:15. 3:15, and I handed my register and leave because I told him I needed to go. And I got written up for that. And not only did I get written up, but the owner came up to me in the middle of the store in front of everyone and told me that I broke the rules, that it's when he says I can leave, I will leave. And if I have an issue with that, I can quit.
So quit. There really are so many establishments out there that think that they're the bee's knees. The greatest thing since sliced bread. And if you don't bend over backwards and suck the teat. Actually, that'd be kind of hard, bending over backwards and sucking the teat at the same time. Let's go with one or the other. Like, let's go with the teat sucking. If you don't suck their teat, you are not good enough, my friends. So what do? Well, you quit. You quit. It's like they punish you for having human needs and reactions. No, that's not allowed. No, that's not allowed. This is why it's like all these jobs, I genuinely feel like we're all going to be replaced by like robots. I mean, robots also break down. Like, I've known a robot or an AI that could have like a nervy bee, a nice little nervy bee. So they're not foolproof, okay? They're not. But like realistically, that's what employers expect. How dare you have a life and emotions and things going on?
The last customer I had at my last job before I quit was a Karen. I'm talking the final person I interacted with at this job was a Karen. So before I start this, I want you to know a few things. 1, it was on my bucket list to do this. I'm glad I did. 2, I was an asshole. And 3, I don't feel bad. Is there anything else that you want us to do before we close? No, we're pretty much done. We close in, like 10 minutes? I'm going to make another announcement. Is there anyone left in the store? Yeah, there's one person in here, but I just talked to them. They're coming up to the front right now, so it shouldn't be an issue. That's amazing because I don't want to be here any longer than I have to be. I don't feel good. I was working with a 101 degree fever. I had mono. okay? I had to be there too. I could not call out.
That is another thing. Their bottom line is so important that they're willing to schedule people that are so unbelievably sick and endanger their customers to get a sale. Mono is hell on earth. I had COVID and it was not as bad as mono. When I had mono, I went into the hospital because I could not drink water. Like, this is how badly my throat hurt. I was so severely dehydrated to the point where they needed to put me on an IV. And I walked up to the woman in the middle of the COVID pandemic and said,
I have mono.
and she said, "Oh, I'm sorry." Like that. And you were working?
Last day was excellent. You think you can make one more closing announcement? I just want to really hammer home the fact that they gotta go because I don't want to be stuck here late. Yeah, no problem. Attention customers, we're going to be closing in 10 minutes. If you want to make a purchase, please bring all your stuff to the register so that we can cash you out. The registers will be closing in 10 minutes. Thank you so much. Oh no. Uh-oh. What? Somebody just walked in and grabbed a cart. Are you kidding me? Hey, ma'am, I just want to let you know that we do close in 10 minutes. Do you need help finding anything? I don't need help. I'm just browsing. Not what I asked. We close in 10 minutes, so I just want to make sure that you're at the register before we close. Literally waves me off like this and disappears
Not
into
the
one of
wave.
aisles going towards wall art. Deep breaths. It's almost over. It's almost over. You never have to come back after this. What are you going to do? Oh, I'm going to be terribly annoying. Time to make another announcement. Attention shoppers, we close in 7 minutes. Blah, blah, blah. Please come to the registers. Hang up. 2 minutes later. Attention shoppers, we close in 5 minutes. Blah, blah. Please come to the registers. Hey, I went over to talk to that lady again because we close in 5 minutes and she's in the mug aisle just like browsing and she's ignoring me. What do I do? I'm going to keep being annoying. She's the only one in the store at this point. The other person is cashed out. Attention shoppers, we close in 5 minutes. We will be closing the registers at exactly 9:30, so please make sure you're at the registers if you want to cash out. Should I go talk to her again? We close in 3 minutes. No, because if she wanted to ring out and be out of here by 9:30, she would have had to be here now, and she's not. So I'm going to finish closing the registers, and then she can suck my... Wait, really? You're going to tell her no? Of course I'm going to tell her no. I actually wasn't allowed to tell people no. Like, that was a no-no. We were not supposed to do that. So what I would do is if a customer came up after we closed, I would pretend that the register was closed and like act all confused and like, oh man, I don't know how I'm gonna ring you out. Like I've already closed down everything. Act like it was a big deal and then just like reopen the register and ring them out and make them feel bad because I want them to feel bad for holding up my entire staff for like 15 extra minutes after we close. But this time I'm saying no because this oh man, she's still back there and we close in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lights go off. Store is now closed. Wahahaha. So I finished doing some of my paperwork at the registers, but I'm standing up at the front with all of my other associates who are just ready for me to say the word for them to go home.
I would literally put my coat on. Like, I would just literally just stand there next to her with my coat on. Just stare. See, I can be an asshole too.
The time is now 9:34. I roll up to the register with my stank face and my cart that has, I'm not even joking, a single mug and a single roll of wrapping paper in there. And I don't go right to the registers. No. I'm browsing the queue line. I'm picking things up and I'm looking at them and I'm deciding, taking my sweet time. Little does this know that she's not going to buy anything today. Me doing paperwork. Finally rolls up to the register that I'm standing behind and stares at me. Doesn't say anything, just stares at me. Still doing paperwork. And I'm ignoring her because I hate her. Excuse me. Can I cash out? Oh, no. We're closed. What? I'm right here. Yeah, and the door is over there, so. You're seriously not going to ring me out? I'm a paying customer. Not today. You're not, unfortunately. We are closed for the evening, so feel free to come back during our business hours when we're open. But alas, tonight, I cannot help you. Why not? I'm right here. This is ridiculous. Sorry. Have a good night. For approximately 30 seconds, which feels longer than it is, this woman just stands there staring at me like this. 30 seconds, I swear to God. I have things to do, so I ignore her, as you should. Staring.
That's when you stare back.
Over there. You can just leave your cart where it is. I'll put that stuff back for you. You seriously won't ring me out? No. Have a good night. Gasp. This is ridiculous. Angry face. Pushes cart into registers, like launches it at us, and then walks out of the store. Then I closed the store, handed in my keys, and giggled the whole way home. Haha.
I just fail to understand why. Like, I'm pretty sure businesses can kick out people like that. Why do we need to remain open to accommodate people who do not accommodate us? That never made sense to me, you know? Like, you do have the right to refuse someone's service. She's buying a mug. It's not like she's gonna, like, she's dropped like $1,000 on something. She's buying a mug and some wrapping paper. Is your bottom line so important that you're willing to bend over backwards for a $5 mug? Like, come on. I don't get why it's so hard for people to Google hours or read the door. Oh no, she's fully aware that the store is closed. She's fully aware. She just thinks that people should accommodate her. And guess what? People probably have accommodated her. These are the actions of a woman who has never been told no in her life. I'm a paying customer, not today or not. Okay, but it's also people who are literally not even paying. That's the kicker. That is the kicker here, because it's like, well, I'm taking my business elsewhere. Me. I'm taking my business elsewhere. Me. The entitlement. I'm sorry. There will always be another customer, and yeah, maybe they could go badmouth you on social media, but like realistically, give me a break. Like when you do the math, that $5 mug, then also paying all of those sales associates, what was that? Like they're getting paid like maybe, $14 an hour, multiply that by like, they're actually losing money by leaving that store open so that you can buy your $5 mug. Sometimes my manager would pretend to fire me if someone was making a big deal and they would feel bad. They could feel bad, or maybe they'd be happy about it.
I'm actually so done working in the service industry, because tell me why this morning I opened at the restaurant and I went to go greet a table. And I go up and it's these 3 ladies and I'm doing my regular spiel. I show up with a tray of waters. I start putting the waters down and I go, hey guys, how are we all doing today? Being my jolly old self like I always am. And they ignore me. They just keep having their conversation over top of me. So I'm like, okay, a little rude. Usually when the server comes up to me at my table, I like stop talking and give them like my 10 seconds of attention while they introduce themselves. But they kept talking. And I'm like, okay, maybe they're blind and they can't see me, and maybe they just didn't hear me. So I'm passing out waters to them. And I literally, all I say is, I'm just dropping off some waters here for ya. And then the one lady looks at me dead in the face and goes, hi, yeah, I don't know if you can see, but we're in the middle of a conversation here.
Then stay home! Stay home! Sorry.
And I was just so taken aback, because I'm like, she spoke to me as if I was like doing something wrong, but I'm like, babes, you are in a restaurant. Like literally you should expect your server to come and talk to you. Like, I don't know what you mean. And so I said, oh, feel free to continue your conversation. I was just introducing myself. It's like part of my job. And she's like, yeah, well, we're not ready to order yet. We just sat down. And I was like, yeah, I didn't actually ask if you wanted to order, babes. You didn't ask. I was just saying hi, giving you some waters. Like, are you for real? Be for real right now. Like, you are surprised that your server came up to you at a restaurant to talk to you? Like, I'm over it. I'm so done.
Have people forgotten, like, how to human? Like, have you forgotten how the world works? Can 100% confirm that if you go for dinner or for lunch at a restaurant, the server's gonna come up to your table. So if you're having a private conversation, you don't want anyone to come up to you, you stay home. As a server, I would not go back to them for like 30 minutes. I mean, that's a solution. But guess what? Then they're gonna complain that you're not coming over at their beck and call. This is the thing. That's the thing about jobs, especially customer service jobs. You get to meet a lot of people. And most people suck. And eventually you'll meet someone who makes you want to quit. Subscribe!